the part of the brain that says, well, I should not say this in public. That's a governor. We put that one to sleep. And then we've poisoned your brain. So I'm not sure I'm going to take notes about what people say when they're drunk, all right? I think it's going to be at least an exaggeration. It will have no governor modifying it, and it may in fact just be nonsense, a distortion of the truth, a distortion of what they really think. Okay? The next thing I tell you, it's not evil. Alcohol isn't evil. Some parents want to protect their children. And one of the ways they protect them is by saying alcohol is evil, so that if you use that drug, then you're evil. So don't use it. I want you to stay away from the drug. Unfortunately, alcohol can't be evil. Why? It can't think. In order to be evil, you have to be capable of thought, of will, of intention. And the name of the stuff may be Johnny Walker and Jim Beam, but it doesn't have an IQ. It can't think, all right? The second problem with thinking alcohol is evil is that you put the addiction in the wrong place. The addiction isn't in the drug. The addiction is in the proneness of the drugger for what's in the drug. 100 people drink alcohol. Of that 100, 13 have a problem with it. The other 87 do not. Okay? Where's the addiction? In the bottle? Oh no, it would be a much higher percentage, right? The addiction is in the proneness of the drinker for what's in the bottle, all right? And you know what research is telling us about that ingredient? They think it has more to do with dopamine and gene receptors for dopamine in that brain, rather than the personality of the person who is prone to it. I always tell Sylvia's story. Teresa knows Sylvia, my mother-in-law. She went to a doctor because one of her daughters was acting out, and she had lifted a heavy load of laundry and strained her back. The doctor gave her Valium. I wanted to kiss him. It was a perfect prescription. Why? Because Valium is both an anti-anxiety agent. She needed that. The daughter was running around doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And a muscle relaxant. I wanted to kiss that doctor. Great. 2 birds with 1 stone. Now, is Valium a drug that has a known penchant for dependence and addiction? Yes. Here's Sylvia's experience. Took one, felt good. Said that knocked the edge off my anxiety. It didn't do a lot for my back, but it knocked the edge off of my anxiety. She took the second Valium and said, oh, it was awful. I felt dizzy, out of control, groggy. I couldn't do my work. Got it? I did not like the experience of a rising Valium blood level. Is Valium a drug that has a known penchant for dependence and addiction? Yes. Do you think Sylvia would ever have become addicted to it? Yeah. No, I don't think so. She doesn't respond right. She doesn't respond right. So addiction isn't in the drug itself. It's in the drugger. Here's another one. We have to get out of the way. How many of you believe there's an alcoholic personality? Let me see a show of hands. Is there an alcoholic personality? Is that true or false? Well, it's both. It depends on when you look at the personality. If you look at it before addiction becomes a problem, there's no such thing as a cluster of personality traits that'll either cause or predict compulsive drinking or compulsive drugging. That's not me. Dr. George Valiant, Harvard University psychiatrist, did a longitudinal study. Got it? Looked at people over 40 years. Started with them at age 19, tracked them till they were 59. Okay? Now he picked it up halfway through. And he wrote a book called The Natural History of Alcoholism. And in that book, now here's the guy who knows the answer to the question, is there a pre-morbid alcoholic personality? Because he's watched them from 19 on, right? He concluded in his book that the so-called alcoholic personality wasn't the cause of alcoholism, it was the result of alcoholism. That's what he concluded. It's not the before, but you do change a human being if you soak his brain in a potent toxin for 30 years. What you think? Don't you think you'd change a human being if he kept using this toxic substance called alcohol, kept drugging his brain, kept perceiving life through that drug? You'd probably change him. In AA, they say, if you take a cucumber and you put it in brine, it becomes a pickle. It changes.